Soko owulire violence eyabadde mu kukuba amasimu nga tetukubira Nabanja kumusaba kalulu ka President Kyagulanyi yatuvumye buvumi. Soko owulire
Alright, olunaku olwaleero nzikiriza ba foot soldiers wamu n'abaana ba National Unity Platform balina omutima kye bakoze Prime Minister Right Honorable Robin Nabanja abika byamaziga bamukubidde essimu ne bamugamba alonde His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi. Reaction ye yabadde batya ogenda kubeera nga onyonyoka mu maaso wakatambi konna nga kuleetedde making sure nti nobeerako mpaka weggwa naye nga tetunagendeyo video gimpereka like bwe bumaze subscribe nga kale obumaze katumye mu kyatwese olunaku olwaleero nkugambye aba foot soldiers batandise okukuba amasimu oluvannyuma lwa His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi okubeera nga akola challenge nga agamba kino buli lunaku making sure nti no okubira abantu abawerako 5 obajjukize bafune obukonge babeere ready okubeera nga abalonda His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi. Njala kumanya eyo move olowooza nungi oba nonye amagezi amalala sokolabe ate bakoze Right Honorable Nabanja tumale tweyongere.
Soko owulire violence eyabadde mu kukuba amasimu nga tetukubira Nabanja kumusaba kalulu ka President Kyagulanyi yatuvumye buvumi. Soko owulire ka audio kano.
Tukagusaba nagwo umutinge agifudde bize ngendo mulemerako nze mugigabena empisa embimbwe eddiini lyaguyingira kugusaba mama wasiibye otya munnange ate akutte n'ajjako bujja kamulemereko.
Press star or hash to copy this caller tune for 700 shillings per month.
Wakofero tuteme empi munnange. Osibye otya maama?
Taliwo nnyabo nani?
Oli bulungi?
Taliwo nani?
Kakati nkukubiddeko gwaliwo?
Yes, nnyabo.
Nga nkusaba kalulu ka Kyagulanyi Sentamu Robert tulonda nga 15 olunaku lugenda kubeera lwakuna wiiki ejja.
Olinga amazi.
Obaddewo awo kumpi. Nabanja abaddewo. Okiwulidde kyekyo Nabanja abaddewo. Nowatenyale mwasi sese Nabanja abaddewo.
Alright, abasinga bulijjo mu mbuuza His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi byaddala alina abazungu abasobola okujja ne bamuyamba ng'afunye obuzibu wano mu Uganda. Ndowooza olunaku olwaleero tusobodde okufuna ansa wali ewa HE wali omuzungu gwe bakyaziza musajja w'amaanyi nnyo. Njagala owulize engeri gye byatandiseemu akunnyonnyola biki His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi bw'asobola okubeera ng'akola abazungu bajje bamuyambe waba ali mu kizibu.
Good evening, Bruce, and thank you for joining us at the JB Talk Show.
Good evening, JB. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for sparing your time. We don't take it for granted. I know you're a very busy man. And to comrades out there, tonight we focus on justice, accountability, and the future of our country, Uganda. You know, as the country faces continued human rights violations and growing calls for change. In this show, we ask a simple but an urgent question. Can international justice still work for Ugandans? Our guest tonight is Bruce Afran, an international human rights lawyer involved in accountability efforts actually related to Uganda, of course, and other countries. We'll discuss the ICC case, the evidence, regional stability, and of course the role of Ugandans here in Uganda, and of course those in the diaspora, the role they must play in this quest to bring in the non-fictional socio-economic and political change everyone is yearning for. Of course, I'm JB Mwonge, and I would like to start this show. Bruce, are you in your right moods? Is everything okay? Have you been fine? Because back here in Uganda, everything is not okay. How is your side?
Our side here is good. We in the United States, do have democracy and stability. We may have problems, but we don't have authoritarianism, and we don't have dictators telling us how to live and how to act. But the problem in Uganda is one that concerns me very seriously, and Ugandans want change. Bruce,
Ugandan is aware of the ICC case filed by His Excellency Bobi Wine against Museveni and his son, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, of crimes against humanity. A case that, by the way, you represent at the International Criminal Court. What more can Ugandans both at home and in the diaspora do to ensure this case is heard, taken seriously, and strengthened legally and politically? Because majority of Ugandans think that it is taking too long.
JB, it is taking long. And the ICC, like any international body, is not a fast remedy. But it is powerful because it puts the Uganda government under a microscope. And although there are abuses, Museveni and his son can only go so far, because they know ultimately the international community and the ICC are watching. So although it is taking time, this case is very important because it ups the ante. It keeps the pressure on the Museveni regime. And the ICC has acknowledged receiving the case, but these courts take a long time. Many cases that have come through the ICC have taken years to litigate and to investigate. But its strength is that it puts the world on notice, and it puts Museveni and his son on notice that they are being watched. And that's what's important. Ugandans need to document human rights abuses. They need to document when it happens, where it happens, who it happens to. And every time it happens, there needs to be someone keeping records of that, putting together witness statements. Even in Uganda, with authoritarianism, that can be done. And we submitted about 220 witness statements to the court. But JB, I want to say that that's not the most important way to get democracy in Uganda. The people have to vote, the people have to care. And the people sometimes are going to have to stand up in the street and speak to what they want. Because we know there may be a fraudulent voting tally. But if the people stand up and speak to that fraud, even a dictatorship will go down. And in country after country where we've seen the people stand up, we see dictatorships fall. In Iran, the people, mostly the younger people, are protesting wildly. Some have been killed, sadly. But that message is coming to the world, and that regime knows its days are numbered. But that happens only when the people themselves rise up and protest. I want to say one thing about Bobi Wine. Museveni and Milton Obote and Idi Amin all came to power at the head of a gun. They were in the military or they led militias. Bobi Wine doesn't come to power at the head of a militia, and he's not coming to power with an army. He's seeking power through the voting booth, through the power of the individual. And that, some people ask, well, how do we know Bobi will be different from other leaders of other African countries who've gone bad? We know Museveni went bad. He came in as a liberal, but ended up as a dictator. The reason we know Bobi is different is he does not come to Uganda